Alright, you sussy bakas. So apparently Genshin Impact and Among Us is doing a collab, which is something I don't think anyone ever thought would ever happen. But apparently this is happening. There's a tweet that Genshin Impact tweeted saying, "Shush, suspicious, very suspicious." And then Among Us tweeted, "Someone's been stirring up the trouble in the hell is this? Spud? Keep your visors peeled." And then the image is a gif of, or not, it's an image of a crewmate looking at his Paimon. So I honestly don't even know what this is even gonna entail, because if you don't know, Among Us and Genshin Impact are two completely different games. Genshin Impact is a very popular, like, open world RPG that has been around for 5 years, I believe. And Among Us is not an open world RPG. It's not an RPG. It's, you know, it's Among Us. It's Among Us. So, yeah, I'm just so confused on who at MiHoYo was like, you know what, guys? You know what we should do? You know what we should do to, like, stir up the pot for Genshin Impact? Like, I know Star Rail did a collab with Fate Stay Night, whatever, blah, blah. Probably the numbers, I don't know. I didn't get safer, so I uninstalled. But, you know what we should do for Genshin Impact? We should do a collab with, not with Farron, not with, like, Devil May Cry or anything else, Among Us! Because people still play Among Us in 2025. Even though I'm pretty sure people still do, but it's not as popular as it was during the pandemic, because we're able to go outside now, and during the pandemic we had to stay inside because of the virus going around. That's for all my people watching this in like 100 years. So in case you didn't know, Among Us is very popular in 2020, but in the present year 2025, when I'm recording this, I don't see that many people playing it. But yeah, so this is happening. This would have made insane waves back in 2020/2021. What is this? Why does this look fake? This does not look legit at all. We are pleased to announce that Genshin Impact and Among Us will be having a collaboration within event 1.6. Please go into 1.6 live stream in the upcoming weeks to learn more. What travelers are you going to? This is fake. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, this tweet is definitely real. It's definitely New Year's. Anyways, the summer event is always foreshadowing. I do not play Genshin Impact like that, so I don't know if that's true or not. But if they actually had this in the summer event and then they announced Among Us collab, that's actually crazy foreshadowing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Damn, in plain sight. Okay. What does this say? Okay, so you need to talk to us. Okay, so you need us to talk to the teams to see if there's an imposter among us. Paimon said the thing. Oh yeah, I guess it is true. I guess, were people playing Genshin during the pandemic? Because I know, obviously, the two games that I think of whenever I think of 2020, I think of Animal Crossing and Among Us, because those two games got incredibly popular. I would say Doom, because Doom for Switch came out the same day as Animal Crossing, but every one of their mothers bought Animal Crossing. So, I would have to say those are the two that I think of whenever I think of the pandemic. I was about to say, Tom Nook shows up in your teapot demanding that you pay him a lot of bells or he'll repo your entire island. Yeah. Y'all remember day one Animal Crossing? I remember that. Good times. Not good times, bad times, because Having to get all that iron was awful. I knew these Asha were sus. Once again, I don't play Genshin Impact like that, so I have no idea what these are. I thought it was weird, but then I remembered Tier of Timus collab with Teletubbies. What? How does one even do a collab with Teletubbies? I need to see an image of this, because, like, what? Alright, bro. Okay, I need to know more about this Tears of Art theme collab with Teletubbies. Hold on. What happens if I just, like... Fucking I think we should wait for an announcement before saying this. We don't know if there's going to be an actual collab in the game or just external collabs. Probably only for Among Us getting skins, because this is only teased from Genshin's English socials. Good point. This feels like a shit post. Honestly, yeah, I still don't know if this is real or not. I'm gonna do my due diligence in like a few minutes, but this does feel like, you know, let's do my due diligence right now, because this does, I'm not gonna lie, this does feel like a Okay, alright, so I found it, and it's true. This is on their Twitter, and holy shit, these are a lot of comments. Alright, let's read some of these. Yeah, I still don't know why Paimon is doing like the dog side eye. I don't know why she's doing that. This collab would have gone crazy like 5 years ago. Paimon was the imposter. The skins. Wait, what is this? What is this a collab? Bro, why is we doing that? It will be such a fun collab. Oh my god, Genshin collab with Among Us. Gosh. Finally, y'all are actually collabing with other games again. How people look at me sometimes. Honestly, bro, that's how my dog looks at me. Oh, okay, that's not very nice. We are so ready for this collab. It ain't April Fool's yet. Now you have our attention. What's the catch? Okay, alright. I knew Paimon is sus. What about Zongi, though? I think that's how I pronounce that. Alright, so obviously, a lot of people are thinking the same thing I did when I saw this. I was like, what? Like, once again, Genshin could do a collab with a bunch of other stuff, but Among Us is just like the most randomest thing that they could collab with. And quite frankly, I'm here for it, because it's just so out of the blue for them to do a collab with this. I think it's gonna be funny. Like, it would not surprise me if this brings back a lot of people to Among Us, because like I said, Among Us is not as popular as it used to be. And I think if you introduce Genshin Impact characters, people might be like, oh right, Among Us, I forgot, this thing got me through the pandemic, I should replay this again with friends, and then immediately regret it, because they're gonna remember what Among Us is. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap up the video here. What are your thoughts on Genshin Impact doing a collab with Among Us? Who do you think the most sussest character in Among Us is? And if the Genshin characters were in Among Us, who do you think would be an imposter first? I'm gonna say Paimon. Paimon just gives off the energy of being an imposter first, and definitely, I would say that Paimon is incredibly shut.